Okay, let's go.
Hi, I'm Shane Bang with Manna Group, and today I'm excited to be talking to you about what to do if you're looking to buy in the next 3 to 6 months. The first step is I'd highly recommend you connecting with a trusted realtor in town, who also would be able to connect you to a trusted lender and to begin the process of understanding what it means to buy and what things you need to be on the lookout as far as your income, your credit score, what you need, what you're able to qualify to purchase, and answer a lot of those questions. So a lender is a very important part of this process. Many of us are not sitting on large lumps of cash and can purchase a home outright. We'll need somebody to lend us the money. Any lender is going to require information on your annual income, your credit score, and also your debts. The main goal of what a lender is trying to get to is a term they call debt to income ratio. On most loans, they want to keep that below 50%. I would say from a budgeting standpoint, you're going to want to keep it in the 33 to 37% range. That's a healthy range for what your mortgage payment should be. So they'll factor in how much you make, how much your debt payments are, and they'll come out with a ratio to give you direction. What you need to think about now is what are you going to do to save up for down payment and or closing costs, and also where the market is going to go. There are some scenarios where I would say it makes sense to purchase a home now and enter the market before prices continue to go up. There's some scenarios where it makes sense to hold off and wait and to save some cash to help save with the down payment and or closing. Typical costs associated with buying a house. You always have a down payment to factor and then closing costs to factor. A common misconception is that you need 20% down to purchase a home. On average, for a conventional loan, we typically have buyers put down 3% of the purchase price towards the purchase. They also have to come up with, we average it out, tends to be 3% for closing costs. So it's pretty safe to say on any purchase, you're looking at about 6% of whatever the purchase price is. So for example, if you're gonna buy a $300,000 house, you're gonna need $9,000 in a down payment and $9,000 for closing costs for a total of $18,000. There are ways to ask sellers to cover some of the closing costs to make that entry level easier. There's also a lot of great grant programs in the state of Washington that offer down payment assistance, and we've been able to help customers get into homes with almost zero down. So homeownership is a great way to build wealth, and you can do it with as little as no money down or all the way up to 20% down if you'd like. It's all a matter of financial question. So some unknown things that people typically don't think about while they're prepping to buy. The easy one, and people think about this often, is in real estate: location, location, location. Think about where you'd like to live, what type of home you'd like to live in, and what it looks like to live in maybe your starter home, maybe your dream home, maybe your forever home. There's many different stages. You want to have that kind of planned out. Another really important part that most people miss, and it's a little bit harder to do, but can you plan where you're going to be in 5 years from now? If you can start to answer that question, you'll then narrow down backwards to make a better plan of what home you're going to buy now based on what life's going to look like in 5 years. So those are some of the lender costs and down payment costs. There also are some costs associated with the buying process while you're in escrow. The two main ones is I would encourage you to pay for a home inspection. That cost can run anywhere from $400 to $500 depending on the size of the home, how thorough the inspection is, whether you get a sewer scope or not a sewer scope. The other big cost is an appraisal. So typically the lender is going to require you to get a third party to come out and give a valuation of the home so that they're ensuring they're lending the proper amount of money to the proper value of the house and protecting their assets. That typically costs about $800 to $1,000 and is paid outside of closing. So in summary, there's several things I would encourage you to do. I would encourage you to reach out to a trusted realtor and a trusted lender in town and start getting some clarity on those questions. I'd also encourage you to look at your finances and start to assess how much money are we making every month? Can we save for a down payment? Can we save for closing costs? How much do we want to save? All the important and fun budget questions that we always deal with. And then finally, I'd encourage you to think about what is life going to look like in 5 years? Where do we want to be? What type of house do we want to have? And for what reasons? What are the important things in your life? If you start thinking about some of those things, you're going to be well on your way to purchasing a home.
You're just for the man.